Hello apples and cherries again. This week in English we are going to be looking at creating a fact file. Now our focus for the week is to be able to write a fact file style text about under the sea. So we're carrying on from our Commotion in the Ocean book, but we're looking at more information style text rather than rhyming. Now our learning objective is to be able to use factual information in our writing. What do you think factual information is? Yeah, it's just information that tells us about something, so facts, a bit like our non-fiction books. Now our success criteria is that we can use different sources to find information. So sources might be using the internet or asking a friend or looking in a book. We will also be able to use our phonics to spell some words correctly. And we will even be able to write complete sentences. Now, complete sentences is adding in things like capital letters, finger spaces, full stops. Now, if we look back at our knowledge organiser and look at our vocabulary section, there are 3 words at the bottom. We have habitat, which we've heard before. We have coral reef, which might be a new word, and ecosystem. So these are the 3 words that we might find out about during this week. Now, habitat is the home of an animal or plant. So we've looked at habitats before, haven't we? Can you tell me the habitat of a penguin? Well done, it would be the Arctic. Can you tell me the habitat of a elephant? Well done, you might say the jungle. Now, coral reef is a new word. You might have heard it before, but coral reef is an underwater ecosystem. Now, an ecosystem is a community of living and non-living things. Okay, so I'll say that again. So a coral reef is an underwater ecosystem, and an ecosystem is a community, so living and non-living things living together in the same place. Now, I've already done some research about oceans, about lots of different places under the sea, and I'm going to tell you my facts. So, an ocean is a very large area of salt water, and most of the Earth is covered by ocean. So 70% of our Earth is covered by water. Now, oceans are filled with plants which help us to breathe. Now, you might know that plants and trees give us something called oxygen, which is really important to help us breathe and live. Now, there are over 700,000 different types of animals in the oceans, and we have only discovered about 5%, so that's not very much at all, of the Earth's ocean. So there's still a lot more to find. More facts. I found that there are 5 oceans on the Earth. So there's the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. Now the Pacific Ocean is the biggest, and it also means peaceful. So Pacific means peaceful. And the largest coral reef, can you remember what coral reef was? It was an underwater ecosystem, so where lots of things live. So the Pacific Ocean has the largest coral reef in the world, and that is called the Great Barrier Reef. Now, when I was researching, so looking about the animals that live in the oceans or under the sea, I already knew some. So we've got octopuses, jellyfish, seahorses, dolphins, whales, starfish, sharks, crabs, and lots of different fish. Now, what I didn't find out was whether all these animals live in the same ocean. So does the Pacific have sharks? Or do all the oceans have dolphins? So maybe you can find that out for yourself when you're doing your research. So your task today is to go and do your own research and find some facts facts and information about under the water, so about our sea habitats. Now, you could use books if you have any. You might use the internet with a grown up. You might find some videos that tell you some information or just some facts. Or you might have a friend that knows a lot about the sea. Now, I've just put a website here that I found really useful to help me find some facts and information. But I wonder, while you're doing your research, have a think about what creatures might live there. So we've had a quick look. Can you find an interesting fact about a creature? So maybe it's something that no one else knows. I wonder if you can find out which is the coldest ocean. And do all oceans have the same animals?